Oh my gosh. We're live. Yep. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Business Lab with Dean. And we are here with the amazing icon of Murfreesboro, member of the Murfreesboro Mafia, Missy Lay.
That's probably the best intro I've ever done. That's good. I often hear like Athena nominees get introed by their people, and it's like, oh, wow, I want an intro.
Now you have one.
Now I have one.
You have one. It's simultaneously really good and really bad.
And a little scary.
The Murfreesboro Mafia. So at the office, at Borough Business Lab office, we go back and forth as to what role in the Mafia you play. We don't quite know if you're the Godfather or the consigliere. You tell us what you are.
Yeah. I'm the guy who knows the guy. I know all the guys.
Okay, I got you. I know it. That's the consigliere.
And I never leave a cannoli. Ever leave a cannoli.
You know who has good cannolis? Since this is local, we're going to focus on local.
Yeah.
Domenico's.
Yes.
Has a really good cannoli.
Yep.
Yes.
I brought lunch to a friend from Domenico's, and she was going through the bag and like, where's the cannoli? I was like, I didn't know you, like, do we even know each other?
Right.
It's Domenico's.
It's terrible. You didn't bring
Sorry,
me a cannoli.
Ella.
We're not friends anymore.
Dang it.
Oh, Missy, tell me what it is that you do. If you can do this briefly.
I can. So my life's motto is have fun, be amazing. So I figured out at 40 what I wanted to be when I grew up, and it was to have fun. Yeah. So I create one-of-a-kind events, whether it's for individuals, birthday parties, scavenger hunts, team building, things like that, all the way up to nonprofit fundraisers. My very first nonprofit fundraiser was the Clue Party, and it was in 2018. So, and it was then when we were like having that event that I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. So that was a very moving moment, and it has been just full speed ahead since. So if it's fun, I do it.
I love that. You're the perfect person to have on this podcast, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about businesses that are fun.
Yep. That's us.
So what did you said when you were 40, you knew what you wanted. You finally discovered what you wanted to be when you grew up. When you were young, what did you think you wanted to be when you grew up?
Oh gosh. When I was young, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. And I remember my dad looking at my school counselor, Sweet Sue Bass, who is still around, and said, you of all people should tell her not to do this. And she was like, ouch. And then I decided that I was going to be a business person in a tall building and never get married, never have kids, and go to New York and just rule the world. And then I had a kid. Fell in love, had a kid, and knew this was where I wanted to raise my family. But I've done marketing for multiple, industries, healthcare, holistic medicine, property management, storage. I even worked in the school system for a little while, mortgage, and marketed a lot of people and did a lot of things. But I had an opportunity to do what I really wanted to do. And it was because my husband threw a 40th birthday party for me. And he had everyone in the office, the guidance office at Smyrna High, create like some sort of scavenger hunt item. And then one of the office workers put it all together. And I was like, did you have fun doing this? This was amazing. He was like, this was a nightmare. Like, it was so hard to plan. And I was like, oh, I would love to do this. And he said, you should, because the lady in Nashville wanted to charge $500. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, you can make money doing this?
People wanted what? So I just started diving in, and this is what bounce houses charge. This is what, your bounce use charge, and this is what Chuck E. Cheese charges, and just kind of went from there. So, and it's just tons of fun.
That's amazing. So that was for your 40th birthday. So when you received this as a gift, when did you think you were like, yeah, I could maybe do this professionally?
Oh, it was immediately. I was fortunate that as a part of Rutherford Cable, they have what was called the Center for Executive Leadership. And I was honored to be a part of the class with Dr. Josh Aaron, who is basically a master's level class on business and leadership. And we went around the room and basically said, why are you here? And I was like, well, I want to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. And to this day, I still, I was in the middle of that class when it happened, and I went back and I kind of announced, I was like, well, I know I kind of want to own my own business. I kind of want to work for a nonprofit. And then Dr. Aaron likes to remind me of that. And he was like, and now you own your own business working for nonprofits. He was like, mission accomplished. So, yeah, but we have lots of fun stories from that event. And everyone in the class was a big cheerleader. When we graduated, I planned a little scavenger hunt for all of us. And it just took off from there.
That's amazing. So how did it go from scavenger hunts to larger events? And we'll get into some of the larger events in a little bit.
Well, it started, so I started in 2017, and then in the beginning of 2018, I was like, I want to do something fun, like something that I love. I had done like an Indiana Jones based scavenger hunt. I had done a Harry Potter based scavenger hunt. And my favorite movie in the world is Clue and Princess Bride.
Right.
But I thought maybe I do something with that. And I remember, talking out like a murder mystery dinner or something of that nature. And the amazing Leslie Russell Yost, who is the knower of all things fun.
Also a member of the Murfreesboro Mafia.
Also a member. Absolutely. She is. Yeah, she's
she's the enforcer.
That's it. I was just going to say, she's the one, she'll take you out. But essentially she was like, hey, check out what Memphis is doing. And I was like, oh, dude, that sounds amazing. So I reached out to John Michael, who was doing the event in Memphis. And he was like, come on up. I'd love for you to experience it. It's our first year, and go from there. And he literally was like, here, this is how I did it. And I was flabbergasted. So I made a donation to, he worked for the nonprofit Friends for Life in Memphis. And I gave a donation because that was amazing for him to do. And then we just kind of tweaked it. And Michelle Willard was a huge help with writing the story and all that kind of, tons of people came together to help me make it happen. And every year it just gets better and better. We've learned. And so that was like, I was like, oh man, so I can do this and help people. It's like the perfect marriage for me, like have fun and help people. So I was dear friends with Jason Bennett, still am. Sorry, that was not a was. I'm dear friends with Jason Bennett, and he was a big part of Murfreesboro Cold Patrol at the time. And I was like, hey, can I do a fundraiser for you guys? And he was like, sure. So it was then that I realized I have all of these talents and creative ideas. So let's put it together and help the community that I grew up in and that I love. So, and then it was just snowball. Like, what else can I do? So, I have a note on my phone of like 45 fundraiser ideas.
Oh, wow.
And I've only done like 6, and there's a couple more in the works. So,
okay.
Yep. Lots of fun.
That's cool. So tell me about the first time you made money doing this.
Yeah. So my very first scavenger hunt was for a dear friend, Kinsey Keene. I asked her, I said, can I do this for you for your birthday? And then you guys just give me all the feedback. Well, they basically showed me all the ways that people can cheat. So when I say get a picture next to a water fountain and they're sipping it out of the water fountain at the store, that's not what I meant. So, so I then kind of met somebody told me about Cultivate because I needed to have an address, and I literally went into Cultivate co-working. I met Gretchen Bilbro, told her what I did, and then within a week, 3 people called me and was like, hey, Gretchen told me that you do this. And I didn't know Gretchen at the time.
Right.
I mean, I had heard about Cultivate and that sort of thing, but I scored a scavenger hunt downtown for Oktoberfest, and I worked with Deneen Gladwell. And back when it was the Downtown Murfreesboro Business Association, and we did a small business hunt around the square, and I got paid, and I was super nervous that there was only, 50 or 60 people coming, but all these pictures came in of like trunks full of things people had purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my gosh, it worked.
That's awesome.
Because as females, we kind of live that imposter syndrome a lot. We're like, somebody's going to figure out that I don't have it all figured out. But the point is, as small business, we don't have it all figured out.
I don't think that's just a female thing.
No. Yeah.
I don't know.
We exaggerated a little bit more than most just because we wear so many hats. But it's interesting because I have learned through this passage that I don't have it all figured out. But when you team up with some amazing people who do have that figured out, and I learned that from a mentor of mine, Nadia Abdul. She was like, stay in your lane, girl.
Yeah.
Just because you can do math doesn't mean you need to be your own accountant, kind of thing. And
that's true.
It took a while to let some things go, but it just really kind of came together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, for anyone keeping score, we're 11 minutes in, and you've now mentioned every member of the Murfreesboro Mafia, but I'm not going to say what the other two are. I'm not going to say. So you have to guess.
Absolutely. Yep.
So tell me about the goose. What do we got here?
So when I first started, Wild Goose Chase is an homage to my dad. One, because that was his thing. Like, we would go looking for a piece of sporting equipment, and he would be like, well, I was a Wild Goose Chase. We came up empty handed. And then it was in a college class that we studied animals and why their pack mentality and things like that. And geese never leave anybody behind. Like, if a goose, you've seen their V formation, they all trade spaces, doing the guide. If one of them falls back, two go with it. And if it dies, then they're with it till it dies. And then they go back to the pack. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's kind of that whole military, no man left behind. I just never want anyone to feel like they're alone in the world. And that's why I create fun things. So when I named my business, I was like, I need a mascot. And there's a adorable little site on Facebook, found them on Facebook. They're here in Murfreesboro. It's called Huggable Crochet by Renee. And I was like, could you do a goose? And she was like, I don't know. Let me see. So then he popped up, and he's adorable. And I did a naming contest, and there were some really good names. But this is Clues the Goose.
Oh, that's a great name for a goose.
Yeah, I do have a backup should anything happen to Clues, and his name is Maverick. That was me. I got to name him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And for those who listen to our podcast, we went, Marissa Callie and I went to Atlanta and went to the square on Marietta. And there I walked in, and there was this adorable little goose. And I was like, did somebody make this? He's like, yeah, like one of my wife's friends makes it. And I was like, I need it. So I immediately got it. I'm trying to figure out a way to work him into it. His name is Bruv. So
did you see Alton Brown while you were in Marietta?
No.
He lives there.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Alton Brown lives in Marietta.
Aw.
Did you eat at the Thai place right next to the Gone with the Wind Museum?
No, I didn't even know there was a Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it's like literally right behind the square.
Oh, man. We ate at the Australian Bakery and met Neville. And we ate at Elon North and had the amazing Travis as our waiter. So, yeah, there's so much more to experience. It was a great experience. But
Marietta's cool.
It is a cool spot for sure.
I'm going to say this for Josh, one of my business partners, because he loves when I say this. When I was in the elevator industry,
in my previous life,
that's right. I had a client in Marietta, and I would be like, "Hey, I'm going to come down for lunch," just because I like Marietta. It's a cool place.
It is a cool place. They've got their downtown.
Yes,
it's happening. It is happening. It's a happening place.
It reminds me a lot of Murfreesboro as it is to Nashville. It's kind of Marietta as it is to Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. Their square has multiple lanes that go around. So immediately I would like Murfreesboro would not survive a 2-lane square.
No.
Yeah, but they have so much retail and restaurants and cool things. They actually have like kind of like a mall map on the corners.
Yes.
And I remember thinking it's like retail, restaurants, government, lawyers, services, and ours would be like lawyers, government, retail, restaurant.
Yes, they do have a much more pedestrian friendly square and
flow
and number of offerings for people that are just like they want to wander.
Yeah. Oh, and Marissa and I walked. It was locally owned heaven.
That's amazing.
It was cool.
Speaking of locally owned, tell me about this shirt.
So, because of my passion for local and scavenger hunts, driving people into local places, I got suckered into, just kidding, I do it lovingly, from my friends in the mafia to become the locally owned Murfreesboro president. And we haven't done shirts in a very long time. And I'm a big proponent of local, whether it's listening local, WGNS, whether it's shopping local, eating local, supporting local nonprofits or whatever. So we created this cool shirt that says support local everything. #Murfreesboro Matters. And those are getting ready to be sold to the public. We still have some in this pretty blue. We're going to do like a couple different colors. And just so the public can join us in reminding folks to support local everything. Our locally owned Murfreesboro has a free membership. It's a free business listing to any business that is in the Murfreesboro city limits, including your Lascassas, your Rockville, your Christiana, that sort of thing. Sorry, Smyrna. Y'all have an amazing group called Smyrna Independent Merchants Association, so check them out. And then we have like a premium membership, which I laugh at because it's only $50.
Yes.
But $50 a year that basically covers our software that we use to keep up with that. And then we help market your business through locally owned Murfreesboro. So if you're a business and you're not listed, get there.
Right.
If you're listening and you have a favorite business and you're not listed, get them on there.
Yes.
So,
and that's locally owned Murfreesboro.com.
Yes. Nope. .org.
No, .org.
Locally owned Murfreesboro.org. Or locally owned borough.org. We have both.
Oh.
Because everybody's like, you say LOM and locally owned borough and locally owned Murfreesboro. Locally owned Murfreesboro.org or locally owned borough.org. And and for the public, that's how we find our local businesses. You're like, I need a local person to do my exterminating. So you can do a search. Or I would love to find a local lawyer, or I would love to find a local even real estate agent. That sort of thing. So we just have tons and tons of opportunities for small businesses to get recognized. So.
Yes. And I've been a member of locally owned Murfreesboro probably since close to when it started. Yep. And it's been really valuable. A couple years ago, there was a meeting that you guys organized with the mayor, which was great because you hear about the city leadership and you hear all these things and then you meet them and you're like, oh, these are good, nice, decent normal humans people that actually do care about Murfreesboro.
They live here too.
Yeah, they do.
Love them or hate them. They live here too. And they suffer the same, like they don't get passes on, traffic or gas prices or anything like that. So yeah.
Exactly. So, well, that's cool. So locally owned everything. I love that. So we've talked about some of the fun things. So, and part of what I want to get out of this podcast is when you start a business that you're going to have fun with, how do you stay in touch with the fun parts of it, even when it sucks?
Even when it sucks. So anyone who owns a small business knows, and if you don't recognize this, we go on this roller coaster of, I have the best job in the world. I'm just going to shut it down. This is the worst decision ever. I love my job. I hate my job. It is a roller coaster for sure because we do all the things. When I started, I was charging $100 for my scavenger hunts.
Oh my gosh.
And my little, leadership group at the time was like, you're working for less than minimum wage. And I was like, what? And they like broke it down. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was terrified of raising my price. And then it was like 2 days later, I raised my price and this lady called and she was like, what do you charge? And I was like, well, we charge $200, but that's included. She's like, okay, do I need a deposit? And I was like, wow, that was easier than I expected. And, and then we have people who call and are like, $200, I could do that. I'm like, great.
Right.
Do it.
Have
fun. Yeah. Because I believe that there are a lot of creative people who can do it. I've seen it happen. But the one thing that separates us is that I go before the hunts, and I let the businesses know.
Mhm.
I remember one time it was a teenage hunt, and I was going to take them through Hot Topic, and I walked in, and they were like, "Whoa, were you the one that did the thing last week? Because last week was a nightmare. They just came in and put all these clothes and threw them down." And I was like, "Well, that was not me.
Right.
So sorry. Like that. If they do that, you like this is my number. You call me, and we'll square that away." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, send people in." But then we have some businesses that are like, "I don't want those people in my store," and I'm like, "People with money?
Yeah.
You don't want people with money in your store? Okay,
Right.
that's fine."
It's crazy talk.
It is crazy talk, but I get it. It's hard to explain. It is not a run in and run out sort of thing. Like have things they have to accomplish in your store. I have big supporters. Vita's on the square is a big supporter. I always send people in there. Early, you had to ask Nana for a joke, or get a picture with Max, their store pup, or find the best clock or sign that describes yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And almost 90% of the time, people are like, "I didn't know this place was here."
Yeah,
and that's the purpose. So finding those people who want to support you and allow you to help support them, and finding clients and things like that. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, growing is painful as well.
Sure.
I just stepped away from my safety net job, and this is me. Planning ahead and making sure I get paid,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm worth and things like that. So it's a constant roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
But if I keep going back to have fun and be amazing,
yeah,
that keeps me grounded.
Right.
Because there are days that it's not fun,
mm-hmm.
but what I do is amazing. So
yes.
There are days that what I'm doing is not so amazing, but I'm having fun. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of that balance.
I love that you actually have a mantra, because when I was in sales, I had two, and one of them was, "They're just paying me not to quit."
Oh, like, I've heard you say that. Yeah.
They're just paying me not to quit.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I'm here. just not to tell
continue
them
being
that I'm done. And that's what got me through 6 years at one company and 10 altogether in that industry. And I was like, I'm not going to quit.
So you're saying the elevator business isn't fun?
Oh my gosh.
It has its moments, I'm sure, but
I was fortunate to work with good people that I really liked, but the work is mind-numbingly stupid. And you can get on it. Like, people who haven't traveled for business have this image of like private jets and steak dinners, and it's like the opposite. This story is literally true. I went to Austin on a trip. I get in my rental car. I go to the hotel, and I get in the hotel, and there's a crack in the plaster of the hotel, and I'm like, I recognize that. I had been in that exact same hotel room 2 years before,
and it had never been repaired.
It hadn't been repaired, but I didn't recognize the fact. I didn't recognize the drive to the hotel. I didn't recognize the lobby. I didn't recognize walking to the room. It was the crack in the plaster, and I was like, I have to stop doing this. This sucks.
That's a lesson for life, is that if all you notice are the cracks in life, you're not having fun. No,
I love that. I love that. No, the people that were there, good people. I'm still friends with a lot of them, and that's what kept me engaged.
Yeah, and a lot of people, there are things that jobs that I was like, wow, I didn't think that has to happen. Yeah, and selling elevators is one of those things. It's not just a push button, like, what is that, vending machine, like, right, elevator, go.
It should be. Here's my idea in the elevator industry. I always wondered why in a 2-floor elevator there's 2 buttons. Oh, because it should only be one.
Word.
And it says like
not
other
here.
Right, like I want to be on the other floor, not obviously this floor. Nobody took me up on that though. I still think there's a missed opportunity there.
Well, I don't want to miss this opportunity. There's a Mitch Hedberg quote, because he talks about the 13th, how there's not a 13th floor. And he goes, you people on the 14th floor, you know where you're at. You know where you're at.
It's true. It's very true. The 14th floor. That's the name of the next podcast. The 14th floor.
Bum, bum, bum.
If I ever want to do an elevator related podcast, which I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So speaking of not falling asleep, Missy, tell me about some of the fun things that you have coming up.
Yeah. Okay. So first, for locally on Murfreesboro, every year we do an event called Downtown on the Farm, and we take locally sourced food from local farms. We give them in the hands of some local amazing chefs, and then we serve a dinner at Oakland's Mansion for the public. And all the money raised from that event, this is one of my favorite events, is goes to scholarships for students in Rutherford County attending MTSU pursuing entrepreneurship. So we're investing in the next generation of entrepreneurs, and we've given away almost $25,000 so far.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that is September 18th. It's a Sunday afternoon. It starts at 4:30, and early bird tickets are going on right now, and they're $125 for two.
Okay. So a couple.
Yep. $125. We're still in the midst of an endemic. So we're pre-packaging meals for two, and then you get to take that and go sit where you like on the grounds. We'll have long tables and fun stuff.
Oh, cool.
And Franklin's Fruit Tea and Uncle Nearest and things like that. Some of our chefs we have Mitchell Murphy from Five Senses and Steakhouse 5.
Love him. Christy
and Sean Hagginson from The Alley.
Love them.
Chantel and Matthew from Simply Pure Sweets. Ta-da!
Love them.
Who else do we have? We have
I feel obligated, whoever you say next, I have to say I love them. Because I just said that for the past 3.
You're gonna out like Monique Ivory from Grandma's Hand Sweetery.
I have no idea who that is.
And yeah, so she makes some amazing cinnamon rolls and desserts.
Oh, I love her now.
Yep, you will love her 100%.
Cinnamon rolls sold.
And then we have the guys from I Take It food truck. They're helping.
Okay.
Gosh, I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. But yeah, local folks all joining in to help. You know, we got an amazing crew, and every year it is just phenomenal. Last year it rained, and Oakland's let us in the mansion to eat.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we have some great sponsors. And Dean Urban, who is the dean of the Jones College of Business, has always been a big proponent. He's always there. He always says something nice to the folks. And then Dr. Josh Aaron, who is in charge of the entrepreneurship program, is also there. And we love working with them. So that's September 18th, and that is locally in Murfreesboro. And it's our 5th annual. So I'm excited about that.
That's amazing.
Then my baby Clue Party, which Dean was a part of last year.
That was so fun.
Yep.
That was, it's funny. I had a moment when we were taking pictures with Angel beforehand, and I walked in and I'm dressed like Professor Plum, and I was like, I'm supposed to be doing this.
I love
this is good.
I love it. Yeah. So every year we open it up to the community. 8 people within the community play the characters. Your usual colors, and then the butler and the maid. And then every year I'm begging people to do it. But Dean applied and just kept bugging me like, am I going to get to do it? Am I going to get to do it? I was like, Dean, you're in. He's like, what?
I thought there would be like 100 people that wanted to do it.
I know. And that was my goal. So this year,
nice.
We had 8 spots and we had 15 people apply.
That's amazing.
And so I had to turn some people away, but some people are going to have a little fun with this too. We have a couple people who applied who have been characters in the past. They wanted to come back. So we've created a fun kind of like roaming character, like maybe like the singing telegram girl or the,
nice.
The stranded motorist, right? Or the poor police officer or the missionary, who knows? Can I tell you about Jesus? So we've included them, and this group of 8 are so excited. Like they're like, they were all like, one of them was like, I was waiting for this email. I'm so glad I got to do this. And then we did our photo shoot the last couple weeks, and man, it's good.
Did they dress?
It's going to be fun.
Nice.
It's going to be so fun. So 8 people play the characters, and the public gets to come and interview the characters, find the clues, find the evidence and all that kind of stuff. And then they get a chance to solve the murder. We have tickets are on sale now. We have VIP that gets an extra hour with the characters. So if you're a detective and you really want to figure this out, you get an extra hour this year. Everybody gets food. We're going to have the amazing Chef Raymond at Seasons is going to do all the food.
Oh, cool.
So everybody gets food. VIP will have a special bar with Chantel and Megan, who are the funnest bartenders ever.
Yes, they are.
So they'll be slinging in the back, and just loads of fun. Like I said, these characters are so excited. And every year but one, we've sold out, and that was the COVID year that we didn't sell out. So get your tickets, burrowclueparty.com. We'll get you everything you need. But every year I get calls. What is the age limit? I'm like, well, this one's a 21 and up, just because we're serving alcohol. We don't want to, my insurance girl, Keen's like, hey, let's, remove all potential. So 21 and up for the Clue Party. But for the first time, we are offering a Clue Junior.
That's cool.
On Sunday, the 23rd. So Clue Party's October 22nd. Clue Junior is Sunday, the 23rd from 12 to 2. And Murfreesboro Little Theater is the recipient, and they have junior actors that want to play the characters.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're going to play the characters, and you as a family, all ages, can come and, play a live game of Clue and try to solve, who, I think it's something to the effect of who kidnapped the dog. You got to figure out which character kidnapped the dog.
Keeping it family friendly. No
or
murders.
Maybe kidnapped Fanny Manny the cat. Hello, that's
that would be terrible because it's a real cat.
The story just fell into place. Yeah, Fanny Manny is the mascot there at Oakland's, and James likes to say it gets way more attention on social media than Oakland's does.
Fanny does get a lot of attention.
Yeah, so that'll be all ages. What I didn't mention is that the Clue Party is this year's, the beneficiary is Community Helpers of Rutherford County. Again, support local everything. They have been in Rutherford County for 41 years.
What?
They have been serving our public for 41 years with rent assistance, medical assistance, utilities and things like that. And 41 years they've served us, and they have like a pancake breakfast every now and again.
Oh my gosh.
So we are so excited to make them our beneficiary, and to, so all the money raised by our characters goes straight to the Community Helpers of Rutherford County, and they have to raise $1,000 each. So if you're watching, go help our characters.
Yeah. How can they donate? Where do they go to donate?
Well, if you go to burrowclueparty.com, there's a link that, says our Clue, our volunteers. So click on that. It tells you who they are and who they're playing and kind of a little bit about them. And then there's a button where you can donate to which character. Okay.
And as a former Professor Plum, I think you should support Jonathan Harmon this year, who's Professor Plum. We're gonna create the Plum Dynasty.
Oh, I love it.
Plum rules.
The Plum Dynasty. That's amazing. So yeah, let me give a shout out to our characters. So Professor Plum is Jonathan Harmon. Mr. Green is Marcellus Banks, who I'm so excited about because I didn't know he loved to act. So that's going to be fun. John Boyce, Brainiac Trivia, is our butler. And I just keep thinking Lurch when I see him. He's so tall. And then Michael Shirley, who also is a thespian, is playing Colonel Mustard. And he is so excited. And he's been in the ag extension. He's been an ag teacher. In fact, I have a picture of him holding a pig for his yearbook photo. That's a win-win, Michael Shirley. And then for our women, we have Amy Harris Aber. She's an MTSU professor. She is Miss Peacock and is so quirky. It's going to be great. Laura Bowling, who's running for state senate, is Mrs. White. Angela Lyles is Miss Scarlett. Angela with high water title. Everybody knows Angela. And then Rebecca Padilla is playing our maid. And if you came to United We Style, she was the Audrey Hepburn lookalike, and she is precious. Love her to death. She's our maid. We had a photo of her, and she was polishing a lead pipe. It was so funny.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's the weapon of choice, I guess. So, but we're excited. We're going to be releasing pictures soon. Tickets are on sale. $100 VIP, $75 and for general admission, and everyone gets valet, because parking at Oakland's can be fun. So free valet parking for everyone, and murder, mystery, and mayhem. Bum, bum, bum.
I love it. I'm excited for the Clue Party. Because I did not attend previously, and then last year I participated.
Yep.
So this year it's going to be fun just going to the event. and being a kind of a bystander.
Yeah. And we'll have you come to some of the rehearsals, just having that insight of having been a character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell them all day long that people are going to ask you dumb questions. And they're like, what do you mean dumb questions? And I was like, just wait. Just wait.
There were a few dumb questions.
Yeah. Kara Kemp, who played Colonel Mustard 2 parties ago, had a fake mustache on. And so it was constantly making her know. So somehow it got around that Colonel Mustard was on crack or something. Like, are you doing drugs? She's like, I have allergies. So,
I'm allergic to my fake mustache.
That's right. So it's just fun how things, because we give our characters liberty. We tell you these things and then they go. They just can't lie.
Sure.
So there's some.
Yeah.
Yep.
There were a couple people last year that were really interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you're taking this real seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Dennis Phillips just lied the entire time because there was like, Mr. Green was like, when did I blank? And I was like, I don't know. When did you do that? He was like, I don't know. They just kept telling me the butler says that I do that. And I was like, it's the butler.
Yeah. Right. Take it with a grain of salt.
That's right. So, yeah. So, and then just real quick in the end of October, October 28th, we're doing Monster Mash on Manny. We're doing a costume party at Oakland's Mansion to raise money for them. And then November 5th, we have the Glitter and Ash, a masquerade party, which is going to be amazing. Think pose / carnival / we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And that's an inaugural fundraiser for True U Tennessee.
Okay.
And then the second annual New Year's Eve bash for Endure Athletics. New Year's Eve. You no longer have to go to Nashville for a fancy schmancy New Year's. We have valet and red carpet and casino tables, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And we celebrate in 3 time zones. So if you're like me and you want to be in your PJs at midnight, come and celebrate at 10 and 11 and head home. So
my goal is to roll out at 11:05.
That's right. Woo! Happy New Year, New York. Peace out. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
And so tell me about your favorite party that you ever have thrown ever.
You heard it here. February 11th.
We're already talking about it.
I know.
At the office.
I've been ordering fun stuff. So boys and girls, boroughprom.com. We have an 80s adult prom, February 11th, 2023.
Yes.
At the Walnut House. And if you missed it last year, man, what a party. Sarah Callender told me she's never danced that hard since college.
It was insane.
It was so fun.
It really was. Yes. And to have that was our party. That was Borough Business Lab. We did that and you did that and we did it for Isaiah House. 15 minutes in, I was like, no, this is a good party.
This is a good party.
And then half an hour in, I was like, now it's out of our hands now. It's taken a life of its own.
Yep.
And it was beautiful.
Murfreesboro showed up with some costumes.
They did.
And it wasn't all prom. There were some great prom costumes, but Jeremy came dressed like Run from Run DMC.
We had 3 or 4 Run DMC people.
We had all the tracksuits.
Don Johnson tracksuits.
Yep. And Macy, who has no clue, dressed up like Heather's.
Yeah.
And we're like, and somebody said to her, like, Heather. And she's like, no, Macy. I'm like, never mind. Love you, sweet Macy.
That's amazing. Yeah. So we're super, super excited about that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then this is breaking news.
Oh,
we have breaking news.
All right. Do we need a drum roll?
Do we have a drum roll?
Do we have a drum roll? No, we don't have a drum roll.
No drum roll.
Okay.
So if you know Becky Lanham, who owns the warehouse,
Mhm.
Becky does amazing events.
Yes, she does.
I self-appointedly say I do great events. Well, we are Wonder Twin Powers activating.
Oh.
We are working together for an event in late January, for Borough Comedy. We're doing a comedy show and we have a big timer coming.
Really?
Yep. I'm excited.
What day is that?
It is the last Friday in January. I want to
Okay.
say that's the 28th. Why is that? Yeah, 28th.
Last Friday in January.
Last Friday in January.
We'll take it.
It's at the Walnut House. We've got 2 shows. And this is to benefit the Kiwanis Foundation of Murfreesboro. And if you don't know the Kiwanis Foundation, they help all the children. Good Shepherd's Home, Candle Wishes, Key Clubs in the School, Soldier's Child. So if you support local and you support kids. Kiwanis is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So we locked in our comedian. We're super excited. I actually went to Zany's and saw him in the past little while. So
cool.
I'm excited. He's one of my favorites. And so we're going to start teasing some of that. We're going to roll out who that is. Have a little fun, because Becky and I love to have fun.
Yes.
But that's going to be an amazing fundraiser. Charcuterie before the show, drinks before the show, and then an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
And then show number 2. So I'm so excited.
That's so cool. Excited.
So we're seeking sponsorships now for that. We're seeking sponsorships for all our events.
Mm-hmm.
The sponsorships offset the cost of the event, which means more money goes to the charity.
Yes. So, yes. And
so, yeah.
Yep.
You heard it here first, Becky. I'm sorry. I'm told. I told.
That's right. It's the cat's out of the bag now, or the goose is out of the bag.
The goose is out of the bag. Yep.
I love it. Well, cool. So where can people find out more about you and how to get in touch with you and all of the wonderful things that Missy Lay is doing?
So sure. So you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Wild Goose Chase Events. wildgoosechase.events is our website. All the events have their own website, burrowclueparty.com. We're working on the Monster Mash page, the Glitter and Ash, the Masquerade, the Burrow Bash is for New Year's Eve, but all of our events are listed. All info is up there. Just go to wildgoosechase.events and click on the events tab, and it's got all the information with links to everything you need to know or the coming soon. So whenever that rolls out. And I have an amazing marketing group with what's the name of that place?
I don't know. Who are you working with?
Burrow Business Lab and Macy Corner. So they are doing an amazing job with our marketing, and that has been a big upgrade to my business. Like, I don't have to worry about that. No, I just stress over all the other stuff. So
you're stressing about the right stuff though.
Oh man. Just because, if anyone who doesn't know, I love to create experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And, next year, I don't know what the Chinese calendar says, but it's the year of the goose. We are going to be doing some really fun events, quarterly speakeasies.
Oh, cool.
Candyland around the square.
I love Candyland. That's my favorite game.
I know. We're going to have a molasses swamp too. It's going to be fun. Probably not molasses, but pudding sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a ton of fun next year with some exclusive events and stuff. So this, 2023, I mean, we've got some fun stuff going this fall, but 2023 is going to be unbelievable.
I love it.
Year of the Goose.
The Year of the Goose. That's perfect. Well, that's a great outro, Missy. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you do for us and for Murfreesboro. And you're one of the people that makes Murfreesboro cool.
Oh, man. That's such an honor. Thank you for saying that, because you're the coolest dean I know. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.